I am one of the top 150 ranked players this season, and today I'm going to show you how to dominate every single ranked game by breaking down ranked into 3 different parts: Offspawn, Midgame, and Endgame, and show you how to play each part of the game perfectly so that you can start consistently winning ranked games, so that you can reach Emperor rank just like me. But before I go over the first part of this video, if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed. Go check out my other socials, but now onto the video. So first off, let's talk about the first part of any ranked game, and that is Offspawn. Now, Offspawn can be very stressful for a lot of players, but the best way to always win fights off spawn is by scanning your POI and checking your surroundings. So in the beginning of this game right here, when I jump out of the bus, I'm going to dive down towards the resistance base, and as I drop in and pull my glider, I'm going to make sure to turn around and scan my POI and my surroundings and look at all the people landing with me and near me. This is going to allow me to know how many people are landing at my POI and even know how many people are landing at the POIs around me. This will let me know who I can push and fight off spawn. I noticed that 2 other people were landing near me at this POI next to me. So I'm going to land, grab all of my loot, and then instantly push over to that area. The reason I want to push over to the players right now is because since I got all of this good loot, I'm going to be more stacked than them off spawn, and that means I have an advantage. This is going to allow me to catch both those players off guard, pick up 1 kill, and then I can push the other player and then simply pick up another kill. So make sure when you're dropping in, you scan your POIs so that you can win fights off spawn. Now, another thing you need to understand about off spawn fights is that most players are going to be nervous and they're going to make bad edits, and you can use that to your advantage. So let's use this off spawn fight for an example. I see this player farming some mats, but I'm not going to shoot yet. I'm going to wait until I get an opening. I'm able to spray this player. I don't hit him for a bunch of damage, but then he tries to trade with me and I'm able to out damage him. Now, as soon as I crack this player, I'm then going to start to spray him and close the distance at the same time so that he doesn't have time to pop his meds. Now, as soon as I get over to this player's box, he's going to switch to his hard mats and he's going to box up and brick. When I see this, I'm then going to drop onto this player's wall. I know he's nervous, and if I apply a little bit of pressure, I know he's going to make a bad peek. And I'm going to make sure to place a cone. This is so the player can't edit on me and like throw a ramp in my face or anything like that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm going to pickaxe on his wall, and then I'm going to pull out my pump right after. What this is going to do is it's going to bait the opponent to peek because he knows he has to get some damage off. But as you can see, I baited the player to peek, and since I had the pull-out time advantage, I was able to pump the player in the face and then pick up a free kill. So make sure to use this skill to win fights off spawn. Moving on to the final part of off spawn, let's talk about the most important part of this video, and that is by learning how to predict your opponent's movements so that you can piece control your opponents to pick up free kills. So in this game right here, as you can see, I picked up a few kills at the first order base, and then I'm going to rotate into zone. When I rotate in, I see this player in front of me, and we're both going to ramp at each other. When I see this, I'm going to place a cone above his head, put a wall in between me and him, and then I try and edit and piece control him, but he gets out of the box. When this happens, I'm going to realize he's moving up to the right. So I'm going to place cones above me, he's going to wide edit, and I'm going to hit him for a big hit of damage. After I get this big hit of damage, I'm going to notice the player is moving off to the right. That means that from this position, this player right here is probably going to end up in this position right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cone and a floor above this player. This is going to block him when he try and ramps up. I'm then able to double edit on him, look him in the face, and pick up a free kill. So make sure when you're fighting off spawn, you're efficient with your mats and you piece control your opponents by reading their patterns. Now that we know how to dominate off spawn, let's move on to the part of the video most players struggle with, and that is mid-game. Now first off, when you're in mid-game and you get in a fight, you have to understand that ending fights quickly is essential, because with all of the dumb movement items they've added recently, third parties are almost 100% guaranteed. So here's a quick example of how I end fights quickly. So let's use this mid-game fight for an example. As you can see, I'm driving around and I see these visual sound effects in front of me, so I know this player's up at this base. I'm then going to drive over and I'm going to see him running in the open, and I'm going to get some opening damage. After getting that big hit of damage, I'm going to close the distance on my opponent, get out of the car, and hit the player for 37 damage. When I hit this player for a little bit of damage, I recognize he boxes up, so I need to reload my shotgun. And when I continue the fight, I notice that this player jumps to the side and then he places a ramp, and this means he wants to edit through this floor. So I'm going to jump up above him, elevate, and then place a cone above his head to block him from editing through. I noticed that this back wall while I'm editing is open, so I'm going to move in that direction to catch the player off guard. So I'm going to grab a double edit, drop down, place a cone below me, walls in between me and him, and then I make a wide edit because I know I have that huge health advantage and I have this pump. And if you didn't know, it does like 160 body damage, so I was able to easily pump this player once and then pick up a free kill. And after I pick up that kill, I just make sure to create space around me so that I don't get third partied. So make sure when you're fighting in ranked, you notice these things so that you can piece control your opponents. Now, mid-game fights are very tricky because every fight will be different, so it's very important to learn how to piece control your opponent in any given scenario in ranked. So let's use this fight right here for an example. As you can see, I see this player in zone that I'm fighting. I'm going to chase him into zone, and I notice that the medallion is right next to me, and I know this player doesn't have it. So I'm going to take a little look around, and I notice there's another player right next to me trying to sneak up on me. After I see him, I get that big hit of opening damage I was looking for, and I'm going to start to push him. Now, as I'm pushing this player, I'm going to make sure that while I'm ramping up towards him, I'm going to block off my head with a triple edit. This just means that if the player were to look at me, I was protected. After that, I'm going to edit out, and then I'm going to set up another triple edit. I realize he's building up even more, so I need to make sure that I somehow take high ground from this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a cone in front of me, and then a cone above me, and then flip up the cone below me. This just sets it up just like a ramp, and then I can edit out through the right wall, and then I'm going to repeat this process while 180ing. This is now going to allow me to close that distance and face my opponent. After this point, I see the player on my right, and I know he's trying to move into the box in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to piece up that area so that by the time he moves into that area, I'm going to have control of that box. And since I have this new Java Blaster, I'm able to one pump him and then pick up a simple elimination. So make sure when you're fighting in mid-game, you do this so that you can piece control your opponents to pick up free kills. Now you may say that your mechanics aren't that good, so you can't win fights in ranked games, but an easy way to win fights in mid-game is by learning how to track your opponent's movements. Tracking your opponents through walls is going to allow you to counter on your opponent's mistakes to pick up free kills. Like in this fight right here, for example, as you can see, I'm driving around. I see this player is up above me spraying me, so I'm going to drive at an angle where he can't shoot me, and then I'm going to get out of the car and get some big hits of opening damage. As I'm pushing this player, I'm going to set up a clicks ramp, but he's going to get in front of me, and then he's going to take high ground on me. When he takes high ground on me, he gets the cone in front of me, but I'm not going to worry because I have this new pump shotgun and it does over 160 damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to track the player through the builds and edit this wall. What this means is that if this player ever made a mistake and made a bad wide edit, I can counter on it. Like right here, when I track the player and he moves to the right, piece controls that area and then moves back to the left, he sees I'm standing on his cone, and when he makes that wide edit, I already have my pump held out, and I can pump the player and then pick up a free kill. So make sure you're tracking your opponent through their walls so that if they make mistakes, you can counter on them. Moving on from mid game now, let's talk about the final and probably the most difficult part of any rank game, and that is endgame. So let's use this endgame right here for an example of how to win rank games. As you can see, this is me right here running in the open, and the zone is going to close up over this big hill. Now, if I want to win this game from this position down on this hill, I need to push this player off the hill, because if he's just able to spray down on everyone down below him, he's going to win this game because he's in the best position. So I need to push this player off the hill. So as soon as I see this player distracted and spraying other players, I'm instantly going to start sprinting up so that I can catch this player off guard. I see he's only built in wood. I know he can't be that good, so I'm going to make a power play so that I can push this player off the hill. And eventually I was able to crack this player, get him super weak, and push him off the hill, and eventually he dies. It's also very important to be on high ground because it's a lot easier to rotate down a hill and then get in zone than going up the hill, because the other player would be able to hold you, obviously. When the zone closes, it's going to pull to where all the players are right now. But since I made this power play for high ground, my next rotation is going to be super easy, and I can just slide right down this hill and then get back on high ground in the new position. Now, from this position where I am right now, it's very important that I need to cut the zone in half. Cutting the zone in half is basically just putting yourself on one side of the zone and then pushing all of the rest of the players in the lobby onto the other side of zone, and this will just make winning 10 times easier. Now, if I want to win this game from this position, I need to get rid of this player and make sure that all the rest of the lobby is forced down into this area right here. So as soon as I see this player starting to fight this other guy, I know this is my chance to cut the zone in half. So I'm instantly going to spray, push over to him, and then try and catch him off guard. And as you can see, he boxes up right here. I'm able to steal his wall, and then he places a ramp in front of me. So I shoot it, replace it with a cone, and then I make sure to stay on a right-hand peak while I spray him so that I can pick up a free kill. Getting this kill not only obviously gets me a refresh, but if we look at the map now from this position, the rest of the lobby is down at the bottom of the hill. After I pick up that next kill, I then have a free rotation on the mountain because everyone else is down on the hill. As you can see right now, all the rest of the lobby is down here, and the zone is basically going to pull up right here in this little area right here. That means from this position, all the other players are going to be forced into this little area right here. Now, as you can see from this position, if we were to speed up the gameplay, you're going to notice that all the players, like I said, are all going to be filtered into this small area, and it forces all of them to fight. And since I did this, all I have to do from this point is basically just hold players in zone over and over, pushing them down the hill, and this is just going to make them eventually have to run into me. I can pick up one kill, get into zone early again, look back down, pick up another kill, and then it's just a simple 1v1 from then on, and I'm able to spray the player on high ground, and then I'm able to pick up a free win. So if you want to consistently win rank games, make sure to cut the zone in half so you can pick up free wins. Now that's going to wrap up this video. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you haven't seen how to rank up fast already, go check this video out. I'll be live later today. But with that, I'm out. Peace.